Hi, my name is Laurie. I'm from Daechi. This is my vlog for Eagle C2 Week 1. For Week 1, the students have to design an ideal neighborhood and discuss three elements: the housing, family dynamics, and community culture. So I've to have the students create journalistic documentary style video and then combine all the elements together. The applications that I think are going to be useful: the video recorder that's in the tablet itself, Polaris Office. Lastly, this app I found very useful. It's Android Video Trimmer. The project would first have some sort of like title page, obviously, for whatever their TV show is called. Started off with an intro summary by the correspondent or the TV show host, and that would introduce the topic of the TV show, which would be to go and interview a community who has survived many years or has been healthy, or whatever their criteria was for being the ideal neighborhood, which of course the students would have to define themselves. So after that first page on their PowerPoint, so they'd have their title page, they would move on into a scene. The three elements that are outlined in the tab already were community, housing, family dynamic, and community culture. So I'd want to keep those three goals the same, but instead of just having it put in a picture on their tab, I would use the community housing component. I would get the kids to like sketch out pictures of their houses or design it maybe on paper, give them some colors and crayons, color paper, and then get them to design it there, take a picture of it, and then embed it into the PowerPoint so that it's easier and more organized to present that way when they're doing their TV show. And then of course they would explain what that's like and show a scene between the correspondent, TV show host, and the person that lives in the neighborhood, and do a little bit of Q&A and see how that community member likes their community and so on. Secondly, would be the family dynamic. I'm thinking instead of just showing a picture of what family dinner might look like, actually film a scene with people in their ideal community interacting at dinner time, and then of course have the correspondent following around kind of documenting it. The last one, community culture. I'm thinking of printing out generic kind of layout of a neighborhood, so like maybe put a river, a hilly or mountain area, wooded area, or just like a grassy field area, and then maybe on like an A3 paper, handing them out to the different groups and getting them to design what their neighborhood looks like. I think this will be interesting to see how the different groups draw out their neighborhoods on the same basic layout of the community. And of course they'd have to explain, oh, this is where the shopping mall goes, this is where the roads are, this is where the parks are, and then explain how that affects the neighborhood. The main issue that I see with this project is there's a lot of freedom, but especially being the first project, I think they need a little bit more structure. The second problem that I foresee is perhaps time management issues, especially being the first day, doing the icebreaker, having to introduce concepts within the first chapter that they might not be aware of because this is the first day, they didn't read the book, and definitely going to be a little bit cramped on time. So since the project outlines the three basic components, during those times when they're working on those projects, I'm going to ask them to keep the copies of design. Like, for example, in part one, they were to make a community and design it and show what the houses look like. So for that part one of the personal project, I'd actually get them to draw it on paper, like a good copy of it. And then out of the members in their group, they'd pick out one of them for their final presentation and then take pictures of that and embed that in their PowerPoint. That way they're not wasting time. They're actually completing all three components of their final project throughout class to save time instead of remaking it at the very end. The other thing is giving roles to... So in terms of creating roles, since there are three different aspects of the neighborhood that they have to talk about. Maybe assign the different members in charge of those 3 components. So right before they start filming and taking pictures and putting it together, get them to agree on what they want for the housing, what scene they want to show for the family dynamics, and getting a basic idea down for their community culture. Then also we would have the different acting roles, a correspondent who is going to be doing the interviewing, asking questions, summarizing the scenes. Then we'll have the people that create the script. And then we'll have a couple of extras that act as the person that live in the community. And then someone filming, but definitely giving individual roles and assigning it that way. So hopefully this will work. I'll check in with you guys after the actual class and talk about what worked and what needed more tweaking.